This is the 21 Pilots February 2017 concert review. I'm Chase Thompson. You can find me at chaseathompson.com/blog. I am a writer and a preacher and a college professor. And sometime during the summer of 2016, my middle daughter Abigail roped me into agreeing to buy tickets to the 21 Pilots concert here in Birmingham. I like their music. I like the band well enough, but I'm not normally the kind of guy that likes a good concert. But the guys are clean. Their music seems clean. They're good church-going guys, as you can see. They go to a church called 514, I believe is the name of it, and here in the picture, you'll see that many of the people in their church actually have lightsabers, which I guess that's what that is. That's kind of fun. I wish I went to a church that had a bunch of lightsabers, but the guys in 21 Pilots, they have clean lyrics. Most of their videos seem fairly tame. So 8 months before the concert, when my daughter was asking over and over again, "Dad, will you take me to the concert?" I said yes, not realizing that the actual date would get here eventually. And so it was that February 24th, 2017, it did get here. And I took my daughter and her good friend, and we went to the Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center for the concert. And I went very reluctantly. It's not that I didn't want to spend time with my daughter. I love her very much, but crowds, noise, loudness of concert. I actually like loud music, but concerts, most of them, they'll kind of make your ears bleed, and so I was not looking forward to that. We got to the first couple of acts with Judah and the Lion, who surprised me with their energy and with their sound. The front man, Judah Akers, he did a fantastic job, I thought. He really came across as kind of a genuine, honest kind of guy. Humble. There was real humility in him. I don't think I'll ever forget his opening line. It went something like, "Hello, Birmingham. We're Judah and the Lion. We know you may not know us, but we're going to give you everything we've got." And they did. They did a fantastic job. John Bellion was the next act. He did a good set. My understanding is his set was very toned down from a lot of the swearing and such some of his songs might have, but he had a lot of energy. He was a good singer, good dancer, good light show behind him that was set up. The thing that really stood out to me is Bellion himself did a great job, but he had I don't know if he was a backup singer or a rapper or a vocalist or whatever he was. His name was Travis Mendes. He's a singer-songwriter from Brooklyn, and boy, that guy could sing. At one point in the middle of the 21 Pilots set, which didn't start until a couple of hours into the show, the Tyler and Josh brought out John Bellion, Travis Mendes, and the Judah and the Lion guys, and they all did several songs together. And Mendes sung during that, and man, he was great. In fact, I told my daughter after the show that I thought he was probably the best vocalist overall of anybody there. And Tyler Joseph can sing, Judah Akers can sing, Bellion sings very well. They all have great pipes, but Travis was head and shoulders above most singers that you will hear. He had a very powerful voice, and so Bellion did great. Judah and the Lion did great. It was a really good pre-show, a lot of lights and flashing and things like that. And if anybody there had photosensitive epilepsy, I think they would have been in a lot of trouble. And actually, I've heard from a few people that passed out at the show. Maybe because of the crowds, maybe because of the lights, but pre-show was really good. And then the 21 Pilots guys themselves came out. They started at 9. Their set ended a little after 11. It was a 2-hour set with no real breaks in between. And let me tell you, I went very reluctantly, but I left fairly blown away. Those two guys and their team put on an amazing show. High energy. It was a lot of fun. It was incredibly entertaining. I didn't see anything as a dad that made me concerned. I didn't really even see anything as a Christian pastor that made me concerned, with one exception, which I will talk about at the end. But here you can see how they had a lot of fun on a hamster ball when Tyler Joseph, somewhere, about a third of the way into the concert, got on this ball and went around the crowd. I'll show you the video clip. It's pretty remarkable. All right, so I got to admit, even as a 40-something-year-old dad, that was really impressive and really fun, and it made me want to get in a hamster ball and run around on a bunch of people. I heard from a commenter on one of my earlier YouTube videos that they actually were one of the ones that Tyler Joseph ran over. So how thrilling would that be, I guess? Here's the thing. Again, I said I was skeptical of the concert going into it. But it was amazing. It was far and away the best concert I've ever been to. I've not been to too many. U2, REM, Steve Miller Band, Aha, back when their Take on Me was close to a #1 song. I was at that concert. A few others, but I've never been to one that was quite as good as the 21 Pilots show. Um, some of the highlights, the musically, vocally, it was just great. Everybody did great, especially the 21 Pilots guys. The LED screens behind the band just had some great graphics that really fit in with the songs well. That was synchronized really good. That was a lot of fun. The light show was really impressive. It's probably been a couple of years since I've been to a concert, but I really thought the lights were really fun and beautiful colors. I took several pictures, and you can see some of them here. Just a feast for the eyes kind of thing. Tyler and Josh moved all around the arena. At one point, even, as you can see here in the picture, he appeared in our section. We were in the upper level, not very close to the stage at all, and Tyler appeared in our section and was singing. That was really cool. They went all around. There was multiple stages, multiple setups. I think everybody there, thousands of people, got to feel at least part of the time that they were kind of close to the show. One of the things that really stood out to me was the guys showed a video of themselves in 2011 when they were just a struggling band, driving around the country. There was I think their trailer had broken down, and the video was of them changing the tires. And it was a great contrast of where they are now, having just set the record for 28 straight weeks atop the Billboard rock charts. No other band has ever been atop those charts for, no other person has ever been atop that chart for more than 28 weeks. So they set the record, and that's just 6 years removed from being a traveling band with a broken down trailer. And it made me realize, the 21 Pilots is two guys, Tyler Joseph, Josh Dunn, but they used to have two other guys, Chris Sala, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, and Nick Thomas, and they left the band in 2011. How hard must it be for those guys to deal with the fact that they abandoned ship just a couple of years before their band just took off amazingly? So, like I said, overall it was a great show. A 5 out of 5 stars, 10 out of 10 stars, however you want to grade it. It was impressive. It was fantastic. It was really, really good. Here's the thing, the one thing that bothered me. It wasn't the lyrics of the songs. I didn't really pick up anything that I thought was bothersome or sexually inappropriate. I heard John Bellion swear a time or two, but by and large, everything was pretty kept in check. The thing that worried me, though, was the issue of idolatry. And that gripped me a little bit. And you say, well, what do you mean idolatry? There was no wooden god set up or anything like that. And of course, there was none of that. But I think in our day and age, an idol, let me quote Tim Keller here. Tim Keller said, an idol is whatever you look at and say in your heart of hearts, if I have that, then I'll feel my life has meaning. Then I'll know I have value. Then I'll feel significant and secure. There are many ways to describe that kind of relationship to something, but perhaps the best one is worship. And I felt like at that concert, I was looking at worship. People had their hands raised. They were so excited, there was such a strong level of adoration for the band. On the one hand, I can understand it. Not only are Tyler and Josh good musicians, but they also did the concert with an incredible amount of work and energy. They weren't lazy. They really put every literal thing they had into it, and that was impressive. It wasn't worthy of worship, though, and I saw a lot of what would pass for worship. Arms raised, kneeling down, squealing, borderline fainting, that sort of thing. Tyler and Josh seem like great guys. I don't think they're necessarily inviting this, but I will say there was a couple of times where one or the other of them just kind of bask in the adoration and the applause. And that concerns me. And part of the reason it concerns me is because those two guys claim to be Christians. And I have seen many, many bands go before them. Many, many Christian, quote, singers go before them. Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, Katy Perry. The list is almost endless. Who've said, we're not going to be a Christian group, or I'm not going to be a Christian singer, but I'm going to be a Christian who sings. And almost invariably, in fact, I can't think of an exception to the rule. Almost invariably, that approach has led to significant compromise and falling away. Jesus said this. He said, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the greatest and most important command. And it is really hard to love Jesus with everything you are and also love other things at a high, high level. Idolatry is making a good thing an ultimate thing. And I'm a little afraid there's a lot of people there at that concert who make their following of 21 Pilots an ultimate thing. I'm not saying that liking music is sin, but let me put it maybe the way the writer of Hebrews did. He said this, therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross. You notice there the writer of the Hebrews talks about sin and weight. There's some things we can give ourselves to that is obvious, dangerous sin that separates from God. There's other things we can give ourselves to that is a weight, not necessarily a sin, but a weight, something that can entangle us, something that can hinder us from running our race with endurance, something that can keep us from setting our eyes on Jesus. Idolatry is not merely when we do bad things, but when we elevate something that is not ultimate to an ultimate level of importance. Having an ultimate love for 21 Pilots, or music, or football, or food, or really anything, video games, for instance, can be a weight that tremendously hinders the love and pursuit of God. Something cannot be an obvious sin and still keep us running the Christian race with endurance. Weight causes fatigue and robs endurance. Fatigue hinders love, and a lack of love hinders literally every part of the kingdom of God. So John says, dear children, keep yourselves from idols. You might dismiss me as just another preacher or just another fuddy-duddy or an old guy or whatever. And so I just want to say this. If you're a Christian and you're big into 21 Pilots, fine. Enjoy music. They seem like good guys. Their songs seem decent. But don't have an ultimate love for that. Keep yourselves from idols. Well, I'll close out with a couple more clips from the concert. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for listening. Check me out over at my blog, chaseathompson.com/blog, and I would be glad to hook up with you on Facebook or Twitter or anything like that.